We have 100% confirmed a uptrend on gold, and that is locked in, signed, sealed, and delivered. I'm going to show it to you on the charts here in just a second, but silver is lagging so far. I'm going to show you why silver is lagging and why gold, in my opinion, it has a much easier path to new highs than silver does. Okay, and if you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Drew Wolfer. I am the founder of NORDIC Alpha, and I am a pro trader inside of the metals markets, crypto, S&P, you name it, we do it over in NORDIC Alpha, and we actually just took some longs on gold and silver. They're absolutely crushing it right now, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to show you where I think gold could be going and show you the lines in the sand that actually just broke that confirmed our uptrend. So without further ado, let's get into the gold chart and I'll show you exactly what it is that I am talking about right now. So first and foremost, what we see is we finally broke market structure to the upside and got our uptrend confirmed. So what actually happened was these used to be our old market structure highs, at least on the 1 hour chart, okay? Then these were our lows. We finally broke those highs to then get our 1 hour chart into an uptrend, okay? Now, what you have to do after you do that is you have to confirm above that with a new high that closes above it, and we just did that. And that is what is confirming the continuation of the uptrend on the 1 hour chart. Now, the one thing that I want you to kind of understand, we are in an uptrend on the 1 hour chart, on the 12-hour chart, on the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. The only charts that we are in a downtrend on still are the midterm charts, like the 4 hour. So the 4 hour is technically still in a downtrend, but the long-term charts, like the monthly, the weekly, the daily, they're all in an uptrend, and they all align with the uptrend that is now in the shorter term time frame charts, like the 1 hour. The other thing that we did, we finally broke and got a candle close above right here, this nice pivot point. As you can see, we were having a hard time getting above that, and that is all inside of an ascending triangle. Now, what is an ascending triangle? It is a bullish pattern where you are setting higher lows while hitting the same highs consistently. And what you do is you wait for a break of that. Now, one thing I will say, charting patterns can move on you, okay? So this is a public service announcement. Just because a charting pattern looks one way one day does not mean that it is going to look the same in a few days, okay? So this could change to where this support right here could move once you get a move down, could move to here, right? It could move to there. Or it could even move to down here, right? Where you've got your candle close lows right here, your candle wick lows right there, and you could just extend this out, and this could just become a larger ascending triangle, right? So you could even come back down here to, $4,888 before you actually get your breakout of this. Now, the good news is that if we do get the breakout, okay, you're probably going to see close to all-time highs. You're probably going to come up to these highs and then these highs after that. Now, another interesting thing that I kind of want to show you is this 2025 parallel. If we zoom out, we'll go to the 12-hour chart. I'll show you what I'm talking about. If we zoom out and we look at this parallel from these highs to these highs to these highs, all the way to the ultimate lows, I have what are called my proprietary deviation zones. That's one of the ways that we called the top way back here, and we actually took shorts. And that was one of the ways that we actually called the bottom right here, and we actually took longs at the bottom all the way down there where our longs hit, just bam, we killed it on that long. We took it all the way up, and then we just re-entered right here again just this past week, and now we are killing it on that long as well inside of the gold market. So we're looking to bring those somewhere up here inside of NORDIC Alpha. Now, the point of what I'm saying, if you look at this, I have these little blue and pink boxes. Those are called my proprietary deviation zones. We just rejected from that deviation zone, which could bring us down back to maybe even $5,000 before we start getting a nice pump up. But guess where our second deviation zone is? Right there, right near the all-time highs. So you could, in my opinion, you could see gold moving up to its all-time highs here, relatively soon. Now, the one level that we need to uphold is right here. We have to stay above this, which is 4670, to keep that uptrend on the 1 hour chart. If we close a candle above this, that means that we are breaking market structure to the upside and doing another continuation structure for that 1 hour chart, okay? Ultimately, we really just have to stay above $4,423, which is the low on your 4 hour and your 12 hour charts, okay? Now, let's talk about silver. And before we do that, I want to give you a PSA. Silver has a much tougher path up than gold does. Why? Because gold isn't used in industry. Gold is hoarded by central banks. It's used to hedge against currency crisis, currency debasement, economic crises, political crises, wars, stuff like that, right? Whereas silver is used in industrial applications, and although there is demand for silver, that doesn't necessarily mean that the manufacturers that are using the silver want to see their profit margins going down by silver going up, okay? And I actually have an entire series on this coming up, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you want more information on that. But let's talk about why silver also has a rougher way up than gold does, just from a market structure and an absolutely technical perspective, because we understand the fundamentals of it, and we'll go over those very soon in my next video series. Now, the one good thing that's happened on silver is we finally reclaimed that double top pivot point that we lost back here, right? We lost it. Then we lost our 12-hour pivot point. As you can see, the massive uptrend that we had, we lost that pivot point. So we lost them both at the same time. Then we back tested this one, and we actually entered shorts here and absolutely crushed it. Then second to that, we lost this pivot point yet again, hit some new lows, okay? And we actually took a long down here, right here. Boom, look at that bad boy. Absolutely crushed it. If you're still in this long, you're killing it right now. So in any case, what's happened is we finally closed a candle above this. We're waiting to see if we get a back test of it or if we get a retrace to like the 0.618 or something like that to catch a bounce. But we're going to see resistance right here at $92. Then we're going to see resistance at 96 at that pivot point. Period, right? Now, we have to close 1 hour, 4 hour, and 12-hour candles above $92.01 in order to get back into an uptrend. And so long as we uphold $63.90 from a 1 hour, a 4 hour, a 12-hour, and a 1 day's perspective, okay, we cannot go below $63.90. Now, we are in a downtrend on silver on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the 12-hour, okay? The daily chart is still in an uptrend, the weekly and the monthly, but that, we gotta get those smaller term time frames and the midterm time frames to start lining up with the longer term time frames to think about silver continuing to go back up. And you know where the resistances are, and you know where the support is, and if you wanna know where the targets are, you know where to find them, right? And I'm sure that I will see you in between the time that, you know, the new highs hit or the new lows hit, and maybe we will pump to all-time highs if we can get above this $92 and then ultimately the $96 level.